Surprise! The Rams aren't dead yet. Surprised? Maybe the Chargers are? And oh, by the way, that loss to Cal on Saturday is going to reverberate painfully for UCLA football. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is November 27, 2023. Man, I love being home. I make my money on the road. Every time I come back, I'm in a better place. Salt Lake City is off in the distance. I'm going to be going to St. Louis next, but whatever. In the meantime, let's talk LA sports. Do you like being in the know about LA sports? Well, clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There is a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist, and by all means, comment. It's for the greater good, guys. Love chatting things up with you. Before we go through the news and notes, a look at the scoreboard. Look, I never claimed to know everything about football. I told you guys before the game that Kyren Williams coming back to the Rams was going to open things up. He rushes for 143 yards, scores 2 touchdowns. Matthew Stafford passes for 4, and the Rams just whooped that Cardinal ass up and down Arizona, 37-14. Meanwhile, the Chargers, holy crap, they face planted. They only got about 279 yards of total offense, 4 turnovers, 4 of them. And by the way, Baltimore defeated the Chargers 20-10. Wasn't even closer than that. They could have won by 3-4 scores if you watched that game. Dennis Bwanga scored, and LAFC edged Seattle 1-0 to advance to the next stage of MLS Cup playoffs. Maxime Crépeau had 7 saves. The Black and Gold will be playing Houston at LA on Saturday with a trip to MLS Cup on the line. Meanwhile, today, the Philadelphia 76ers host the Lakers at 4, and the Clippers host Denver at 7:30. Let's get to the news. Now, for the last month or so, I've been sitting there just shaking my head after one stupid post after another. Matthew Stafford is done. You're better off putting Carson Wentz under center. I was telling you guys, you got to be patient. Not that the Rams are just this super juggernaut that's going to go straight and get themselves another Lombardi trophy, but you can't have a one-dimensional offense. Once the other team knows you cannot run the ball, they are going to blitz at will, do whatever it takes to stop the running game. And that's exactly what happened for the last month because Kyren Williams was not there. And it's not just whether or not Kyren Williams can run the football. He's pretty good at it. But he also is conscientious, in the words of Sean McVay. In other words, he's not just a guy who's like, give me the rock and I want to feed my ego. The offensive linemen love Kyren Williams because he helps out with pass protection. Kyren Williams knows the running game better than Cam Akers did. He knows the passing routes. He is a very professional football player at a very young age. Williams alone accounted for 5 explosive plays in the Rams offense yesterday. So, simple as that. Kyren Williams plus Matthew Stafford equals good results. The Rams offense without Kyren Williams means idiot bloggers actually believe Carson Wentz would be a better quarterback. Get the hell out of here with that. I swear. The Turf Show Times, I once thought you actually knew what you were talking about. Carson Wentz better than Matthew Stafford. Get the hell out of here with that. Now, I'm not trying to sit there and claim that the Rams are totally back. I can't. They're still in a hole at 5-6. They have to play Cleveland and Baltimore in the upcoming weeks. And of course, we all saw what Baltimore could do last night against the Bolts. And of course, I would also add that Arizona is kind of a whipping bag for the Rams. The Rams have beaten the Cardinals in Arizona for 9 consecutive years. So the game, in a sense, was a gimme. But at this juncture, the Rams are but 1 game out of a playoff spot. They're on the periphery, folks, on the periphery. The thing among many that really bothered me watching the Chargers play last night was we had talked going into the game about how there were a row of wide receivers taken in a row, right? You did have Quentin Johnston taken by the Chargers. Then after that, you had Zay Flowers taken by Baltimore. And then after that, of course, Jordan Addison of USC going to Minnesota. The first one again taken, Johnston. Who is the one that is struggling the most? You guessed it, Quentin Johnston. Zay Flowers scored 2 touchdowns last night, including the one that iced the game on an end around later on. That game should have been an ass whooping. Way more than 10 points. Because the offense did next to nothing. And so I'm reading the post-game obituaries, if you will, where everybody just piles on the Chargers. And everybody was pointing at different things. The Chargers lost because they didn't have a run game. The Chargers lost because Corey Linsley, the center, has been injured for the last few weeks. The Chargers haven't been the same since. Maybe it's Kellen Moore's offense. Maybe it's offensive pass protection. There's all kinds of things going out there that people are pointing the finger at. And finally, I'm just going to just shrug my shoulders and say, maybe it's just much more basic. Maybe the Chargers just aren't a good football team. I mean, Brandon Staley was talking about defensive adjustments, right? He made 3 of them in the defensive backfield. The defensive backfield actually played a hell of a game. But if the defense is screwing up, or I should say if the defense is improving and the offense is screwing up and vice versa, and it seems to be going back and forth with each week, maybe they're just not a good football team. Maybe they're just not. We'll be talking a little bit more about that in the coming days. And no, I don't believe Brandon Staley's going to be fired, because it was kind of hilarious. There is this website called the LAFB Network, and they asked a rhetorical question. Are the Chargers too cheap to fire Brandon Staley? Yeah. Yes. We've talked about this for months. The Chargers have only fired 1 coach in their entire history midseason. That was Kevin Gilbride back in 1998. So what are we talking about here? It's Brandon Staley till the bitter end. Straight up. Now, the Cal loss for UCLA is going to be even more devastating than originally thought if the LA Times is correct. We don't know if they are yet, because the quality of bowl games matter. There's a big difference between the college football playoffs and a New Year's Six game. There's an even wider gulf between a New Year's Six game and going to the Jimmy Kimmel, Rob Gronkowski, Duck Dynasty, whatever the hell the name the LA Bowl is called now. Huge difference. Ben Bolch of the LA Times is reporting that due to tiebreakers in the Pac-12, the Bruins won't even qualify for that. Nope, they won't. According to the LA Times, the Bruins will probably be going to the Independence Bowl. The Independence Bowl, which means they don't even get the luxury of the short trip to SoFi Stadium. Now, I cannot confirm to you that that is the case for the Bruins, because I'm looking at other bowl projections. Most of them do have UCLA at the Jimmy Kimmel, Rob Gronkowski Flavor of Love Bowl. But that loss also flipped where USC and UCLA is projected to go. Remember, this time last week, it was USC that was supposed to go to this stupid bowl game out at SoFi. The Las Vegas Bowl actually has just a tiny bit more cred. Now it's flipped back all over again. SC to the Vegas Bowl, UCLA, God knows where. God knows where. Chip Kelly, meanwhile, told the LA Times that keeping DeAnton Lynn, the defensive coordinator, is a priority. Lynn is on the first of a 2-year contract. But after all that work that Lynn did to bring the Bruins defense to prominence, you know how much the guy's only going to get for a bonus? $50K. 50 grand for that effort. So yeah, that guy's going to be a hot commodity, and you get one of those wealthier schools as opposed to UCLA, which is a public school, that would cut him a check. Buy UCLA out? It's a possibility. DeAnton Lynn, deserving and due for a fat raise. Lincoln Riley was asked what USC would need if Caleb Williams decides to go to the NFL draft. And here's the interesting part of the answer. Look, it was long-winded and it was meandering, but Lincoln Riley did not rule out using the transfer portal to bring in a quarterback to replace Williams, if that turns out to be the case where Williams leaves. Riley said, quote, "You can never assume anything," unquote. He said that there are 10 different combinations of what can happen here, which of course isn't true. It's not going to be 10 different combinations. But what he could have said was, you know what? I can make the air raid offense work with a drop back passer like Miller Moss. He didn't say that. He could have said, hey man, Malachi Nelson is just devastating everybody in practice. We're in good hands. He didn't say that either. So a wee bit of turbulence for USC football. As if there wasn't enough already. Please note that I have updated the list of players the Dodgers are allegedly interested in. Yeah, we were down to 31. Then I spent a couple of minutes over the weekend looking up at all the other Dodger rumors. Look at all the names that we've added. It's up to 36. 36 names. The scribes are claiming, oh my God, the Dodgers are going to move heaven and earth to get them all. Of course not. Of course not. Matter of fact, I can add a name that the Dodgers will not be getting. Sonny Gray. He signed with the Cardinals, just like former Dodgers pitcher Lance Lynn did. Now, here's the deal. I don't necessarily believe either of those are big needle movers for the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are just basically saying to hell with it, trying to solve their pitching problems quicker, which is totally fine with me. The reason that not signing Sonny Gray is not the end of the world for the Dodgers is relatively simple. Sonny Gray is one of those 5 names that I have underlined, where if you sign that particular player, you owe the losing team draft compensation. And the Dodgers are not willing to do that for a lot of players. They will not, they really covet their draft picks. So losing out on Sonny Gray, not that big a deal. Now, they're perfectly happy to lose a draft pick to go and sign Shohei Ohtani. I'll definitely grant you that. But Sonny Gray, and their habit is to hoard their draft picks, not so much. If there is a plus side to the Lakers' injury situation, it is a chance for Max Christie to flaunt all of that work that he put in during the offseason. Now, Saturday against Cleveland, he sank 5 of 7 shots, including a couple of three-pointers. Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that 12 points is holy crap level of exciting. But Christie also did that by defending Donovan Mitchell in the fourth quarter. Defended their best player in the fourth quarter. These are the type of things that's going to get Darvin Ham's head to notice you. That's going to turn and look and go, oh crap, believe the hype about Max Christie's work ethic. And by the way, all of his teammates are literally just, they can't stop talking about how professional Max Christie has been throughout the whole thing. So yeah, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that the Lakers not having their entire roster available, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that that's a great thing and it's going to be beneficial for the team long term. I'm not going that far. But for Max Christie, it's turning out to be a benefit. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about what you saw yesterday with either the Rams or the Chargers. Who is quarterbacking USC in the future? Where the hell is UCLA going to play its bowl game? And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Ken Cortel Queso production. Take care.